In the vast stillness of the universe, when the night falls and the stars begin to shimmer above us, there is a question that drifts softly across the imagination. It asks not in a loud voice, not in the clamor of urgency, but like a whisper moving through the air. What if everything we know, the sun and its planets, the moon that hangs quietly in our sky, and even the very space we drift through, already exists inside a mysterious abyss we call a black hole? This idea is not a claim, not an assertion, but a thought experiment, delicate and slow, a journey the mind can take while the body winds down. To let the heart listen and the eyes gently close, while the soul follows a gentle path of curiosity. What if our solar system rests inside something far larger, something far stranger, something beyond the reach of direct knowledge, yet close enough to affect every flutter of our existence? The very sound of the phrase black hole may conjure images of darkness and destruction, but tonight, let us not think of it that way. Let us think of it as a cradle, an immense and hidden chamber, a place where light bends and time behaves gently differently, like a river flowing at another pace. Imagine lying down beneath the weightless heavens, and as you breathe slowly and evenly, picture that the ground beneath you and the stars above you are all tucked inside a hidden sphere, a cosmic secret folded away from the eyes of any outside universe. The thought does not need to frighten. Instead, it can soothe. Because if we are inside such a mystery, we have always been here, safe, unknowing, and undisturbed, floating like a leaf in a vast still pond. Our ordinary lives go on, yet this lingering notion broadens them, stretching them gently like morning light spilling over the horizon. Think of the daily motions of the planets in their orbits, Mercury skimming closest to the golden warmth of the sun, Venus shrouded in pale clouds, Earth balanced in its perfect dance of seasons, Mars glowing rust-red like a coal resting at the edge of a hearth, Jupiter swirling with great storms, Saturn wrapped in its icy rings, and the far, quiet realms of Uranus and Neptune drifting in the cold outer dark. Now, without strain, relax your imagination and see this great mobile not placed on a shelf of infinity, but instead circling within something vast and curved. Picture a space that does not stretch forever outward but instead folds back upon itself, held gently, almost imperceptibly, inside a shelter of gravity so deep that no light looks outward. You might wonder then, if we were inside such a hidden vault, would we notice? As you exhale gently and listen, the answer arrives like a calm reassurance. No, not really. For us, life continues just as it always has. The misty spirals of the Milky Way overhead would still pour across the heavens, the seasons would still turn, and the patterns of birth, life, and memory would continue, unbroken, unaware. The nature of being inside a black hole is not chaos for those within, but a kind of perfect enclosure, a sealed world where the laws of physics continue in their harmony, and where the stars overhead remain the same companions of night. Gently let that idea expand in you. Imagine looking up tonight, your eyelids heavy, your mind easing into the softness of imagination. What surrounds you might not be an endless universe extending in infinite directions, but instead a chamber, boundless to our senses, but finite in its embrace, its borders hidden behind a veil no sight can pierce. We would never know the walls are there, for the walls are not like barriers of stone or glass. They are horizons that forbid departure, elegant horizons that let us live freely within them, never aware of being contained. It is not confinement, it is quiet shelter. As you drift slowly through this musing, notice your breathing, notice the rhythm of your own body paralleling the rhythm of the cosmos. The heartbeats continue, steady as the planetary orbits, calm as the motion of moons that circle their worlds. Within this rhythm, the thought of being inside a black hole begins to feel less like a peril and more like a lullaby sung not by one voice but by the entire universe itself. Slowly, let the thought grow richer. A black hole, from the outside, is described as an ultimate darkness, a place into which light vanishes. But from the inside, where we may already be, the stars still shine, galaxies still swirl, and there is beauty in every direction. To us, the prison is not visible. To us, there is no edge and there is no break. What exists is completeness, a contained infinity filled with light and time. Each night as you lie back, imagine this container holding you gently. Every ray of starlight you see is a thread woven within this hidden cosmic fabric. Every planet that circles overhead moves in accordance with the space shaped by this invisible embrace. Try to picture light trying to escape beyond, but not finding a way through, curling back softly like smoke kept indoors on a winter night. That curling light does not disturb us, for its journey simply means everything we see is meant to stay close. Everything we know is gathered together, protected in ways we cannot fully understand. As sleep begins to lean upon you, let your mind wander through the softness of this imagery. Imagine that beyond the solar system, beyond the Milky Way, even beyond the edge of our observable cosmos, there lies not an exit, but another horizon, darker than the night, stiller than silence, deeper than the fathoms of imagination. That horizon is impassable, yet perfectly concealed. We would never approach it knowingly. Instead, all things within flourish as though nothing is unusual. To rest within such a reality is to rest inside a secret we are never meant to solve, but only to live within gracefully. Picture the Earth floating in its orbit, wrapped in blue oceans and layers of shimmering air. The moon rises, silver and tender, light washing across wide seas and quiet forests. The sun blazes each morning, pouring warmth across mountains, deserts, and gentle rolling fields. All of this, every ounce of familiarity and beauty, exists inside this greater mystery. It is as if we are children inside a vast and quiet cathedral, playing unaware of the great structure that holds us. The walls do not intrude, the ceilings do not press down, they merely hold space, immense, hidden, eternal. Allow yourself now to travel deeper into that cathedral of thought. Walk in imagination down its quiet halls. See the arches of space curve above, like night skies bending eternally. Hear the silence that hums with a frequency too low for our ears to sense, the silence of gravity itself, shaping all motion and time. This silence is not hostile. It is patient. And in its patience, it cradles all we are. Even if our minds cannot answer the question in certainty, they can wander in its possibilities. Perhaps each black hole is a universe, wrapped within another. Perhaps the place we call the universe is only one cell in an organism far larger, each cell containing galaxies, each black hole a doorway that never opens in both directions. If that is true, then our home is not merely the solar system, not merely the Milky Way, or even the universe as we think it is. Our home might be another layer altogether, inside dimensions we cannot step out of, yet always surrounded by them. Each breath you take while listening joins that layered existence. Each inhale brings in starlight billions of years old, each exhale releases warmth back into the same space that holds us. The soft shift of lungs and heart are in resonance with the great shifts of celestial mechanics. Life is already aligned with the possibility, whether we understand it rationally or not. And so, as the thought carries you, still gentle, still calming. You do not need to solve it. There is no urgency, no need to untangle equations, no call for answers. There is only the embrace of mystery, and within this embrace, a profound stillness, the stillness that allows the eyelids to close, the mind to ease, the heart to slow, the body to release every tension collected through the day. In this stillness, the question itself becomes an invitation, not to fear, but to rest. If we are inside a black hole, then so have we always been. If the horizons are around us, then they are also our shelter. Beyond them lies what we may never know, but within them lies everything we love, everything we remember, everything we dream. Let yourself feel it as protection, not trap. Let yourself dream within this enclosure, as you have already always done. Now, floating in that awareness, you can close your eyes if you have not already. You do not need to carry the thought forward. It will drift on without you, like stars continuing long after the sun sets. Tonight, within this thought, within this quiet space, allow the question to become soft, to dissolve slowly into peaceful silence, and let your body sink into restful sleep. When we imagine that perhaps our solar system is inside a black hole, the first gentle step is to ask, what is a black hole? And to arrive at that idea, we must move slowly, at the pace of curiosity itself, with no haste, only calm unfolding. Do not think of a black hole as a monster in the dark, waiting to swallow all that comes close. Instead, let the picture form in your mind, step by step, like a painting brushing into existence on an endless canvas. A black hole is a place where space bends so extremely, so deeply, that nothing, not even light, can travel away once it has come near enough. It is a region cradled by gravity so strong, so absolute, that all paths curve inward. And yet, to us who might imagine being within, life proceeds as if untouched. For the black hole itself is not chaos inside, it is order wrapped in invisible folds. Close your eyes if you wish, and imagine space stretched out like a giant fabric, smooth and silent. Now, set something heavy upon that fabric, and see the surface dimple, bending toward the weight. This is how stars bend the fabric of space. But if the weight becomes greater and greater, if enough matter is pressed into a single place, the bending goes ever deeper until the fabric caves into a well, a depth beyond line of sight. That is the beginning of a black hole. It is not something created suddenly in violence, though some birth in the collapse of stars does carry fury and soundless waves through space. In truth, what remains after the collapse is not rage, but stillness, a silent sphere from which light itself cannot flee. A black hole has no visible surface in the way a planet or a star does. Instead, what it has is a boundary called the event horizon. Imagine this as an invisible shell, a threshold like the surface of a pond, except once crossed there is no return. To outsiders, nothing can come beyond that border and remain in contact with them again. From within, though, nothing feels special as you pass such a boundary. There are no gates, no alarms, no sudden jolts. You do not even notice. The horizon is simply there, invisible, and yet absolute. This paradox is part of what makes black holes so strange and yet so serenely fascinating. Inside, or beyond that horizon, lies what is called singularity, the deepest center. Here, the laws of space, time, matter, and energy twist into shapes that our mathematics strains to describe. At least, that is what current ideas suggest. But for our gentle drifting thought as we lie awake or drift toward sleep, it is enough to imagine the singularity as an infinitely small core, one in which everything folds, condenses, collapses to points we cannot see, cannot touch, cannot measure. Around that center, the fabric of space is stretched beyond comprehension, and time itself falls in ways different from what we know. To the mind at rest, to the body preparing for sleep, there is a comfort in realizing that even in something so powerful, the universe sustains peace. No disruption is felt inside, no tearing of ordinary life. What lies within is not a prison of fire, but an enclosed cosmos where physics continues in calm rhythms. The planets circle, stars burn, galaxies spiral, all while, unseen to them, horizons hold them in a gentle cup. Let us dwell longer with the event horizon. Imagine standing far away, observing light from something approaching a black hole. The closer it moves to the horizon, the slower it seems, stretched by the bending of time itself. To the distant eye, the object never crosses. It lingers, frozen, infinitely slowing. Yet, from the view of the thing falling, the passage continues relentlessly, naturally, without pause. This difference of perception is not a trick but a property of time itself, bending under gravity's weight. And so, from one viewpoint there is stillness at the border, while from another, there is nothing unusual at all. You can let that duality settle into you as a meditation, two truths coexisting, each real within its own frame, neither cancelling the other. Breathe steadily and imagine again the cosmic fabric. Imagine a star collapsing at the end of its long life. For millions and billions of years, it has burned, shining across the breadth of space, sending warmth and light. Then, its fuel dwindles, and it begins to fold under its own gravity. At first, it tries to resist, flaring, shedding layers in one final outburst of brilliance. But if the mass is heavy enough, no resistance succeeds in the end. The star contracts, denser and denser, until it implodes. In this collapse, a black hole is born. The star has not vanished. Pieces of its mass, every atom, has been gathered into the depth of a singularity. And what shines outward no longer escapes, but instead locks within a horizon, like embers wrapped away in darkness. Do not let this story feel fierce. Hear it slowly, hear it gently, as though told by a loved voice at bedtime. The black hole is not rage but resolution. It is not fire but silence. A star has ended its burning, and in that ending, something new exists. A region of strange and hidden order, waiting in the vastness. To fall into such a region is to step beyond our comprehension, but inside it is not emptiness or void alone. Inside may lie the birth of new structure, a hidden universe, entire realms of existence that outsiders will never see. To sit with this thought is to realize the universe is layered with mysteries. For billions of years, galaxies have spun, forming stars, birthing planets, guiding comets along icy arcs. And in the midst of all this grandeur, black holes move quietly, unseen except by their influence. They are scattered like silent guardians, each one immense, each one folding space upon itself. There is one at the center of our own galaxy, massive and unseen, pulling stars into orbits like fireflies captured by an invisible dance. It does not consume everything outright. It simply shapes, simply holds. In its embrace, the galaxy organizes. This holding is not destruction. Rather, it is a structure of balance. Black holes wait patiently at the centers of many galaxies, shaping the sweep of spiral arms, shaping the flow of stars, shaping what we later look at with wonder on a clear night. Imagine the Milky Way arching over the sky, its countless stars shimmering. Deep within its heart lies one of these objects, giant beyond our grasp, yet quiet in its existence. It does not announce itself loudly. It rests, it draws space in around it, it is steady. Slowly, picture yourself floating at the edge of such a horizon, though never in fear. Feel the silence there, the absence of light that is not darkness but deeper still, an undisturbed basin of gravity. Around, stars still twinkle, gas clouds still drift, and your own body feels weightless, peaceful. If you drift closer, you would not feel an edge, only the gentle continuity of space, welcoming, drawing you inward. The entry is seamless, as natural as stepping from one room to another. Understand that black holes are not holes in the ordinary sense. They are not feet stamped into dust, not pits carved into matter. They are regions of space itself, regions folded by gravity into forms we can only imagine. You cannot stand at the edge and see into them. You cannot stand outside the universe and pierce through to look. They are both familiar and unreachable. And yet, even though light cannot leave, black holes are not entirely mute. Some of them sing softly by their gravity. They cause stars to orbit in strange whirls, pulling gas into spirals glowing with heat before crossing the horizon. They shape light by bending it around their edges, curving rays so that one star's light may appear doubled, warped, stretched like melted glass. These distortions are the signature of their presence, like ripples on water telling you a stone has been dropped. To the soul listening in stillness, those descriptions need not be technical. Let them be a picture, a slow watercolor wash in the mind, stars circling invisible points, light warping, echoes of silent songs carried by gravity waves that ripple out across space slower and more subtle than any heartbeat. These gravity waves are whispers from the black holes themselves, traveling across deep time, telling of their unions when two collide, their astonishing mergers creating ripples that stretch the cosmos itself. It is quiet, utterly quiet, yet powerful as the movements of tectonic plates beneath oceans. Breathe again, softly. Feel how the idea is vast but also soothing. The black hole that might hold us is not fire, not claw, not storm, but simply structure. A boundary we cannot perceive, a horizon we cannot cross. Yet, within it, we live as always. Within it, stars shine, music is made, memories bloom, children laugh, seasons pass. If the whole of space around us is already inside one immense horizon, then it means we are part of something deeper, and nothing about our lives need change. This is what a black hole is: a folding of space-time, a curve so immense that no return is possible from within. Yet within, life flourishes, universes may exist, time unwinds with quiet dignity. It is a paradox and a comfort to know that something can be at once ruthless in its grasp and yet still a vessel for possibility. A black hole is both an ending and a beginning, an end of stars, but perhaps the beginning of universes like ours. Let the definition settle in you fully now. Not as data, but as imagery, as atmosphere. A black hole is silence, is curve, is hidden shelter. To the outside it forbids, to the inside it nurtures. We cannot step out of what holds us, but also, we cannot be harmed by its holding, for it has always been this way. So when you find yourself gazing upon the night sky and drifting toward sleep, remember the gentle idea that all of this, the planets, the galaxies, the lights of history, might just be the music inside one black hole's embrace. And what is a black hole, truly? It is mystery shaped into structure. It is the quiet presence at the heart of worlds. It is the inexhaustible unknown turned into shelter. And it is the thought, once carried and now unfolding, that allows you to let go, lie back, and surrender into rest. If a black hole is a place where space and time bend into forms almost beyond imagination, then the next step to understand is to slowly explore its structure. Not as a scientist racing to find an equation, not as a hurried mind eager to solve, but as a calm traveler wandering through a gentle landscape of ideas. A structure is not always something of stone or steel. It can be something invisible, like the flow of an ocean current. It can be the feel of wind moving through tall grass. It can even be the flow of time itself. So too does a black hole have a structure, an arrangement of layers, an organization both simple and incomprehensibly deep. Begin by picturing the event horizon. This, as we have whispered before, is the first boundary, the invisible line beyond which nothing can return. To the outside observer, it is the last surface, black, without light, perfectly smooth. There are no landmarks, no textures, no glow. And yet to the imagination, it is like the still water of an endless lake at night, calm, unbroken, featureless. From the inside, it is not a wall. You do not sense it. You would cross it without noticing, moving without resistance, like passing a wave of air. This paradox is the first element of its structure. From outside, the horizon is final. From inside, the horizon does not exist. Now, drift a little deeper. Between the horizon and the center lies a hidden volume, a space where geometry warps into spirals and funnels our minds cannot construct clearly. Light itself, which normally spreads outward in straight lines, here curls and bends, caught in loops that may circle the black hole endlessly before deciding whether to plunge inward or hover at its edge. This region, for those who imagine slowly, is like a gallery of mirrors where every reflection is drawn inward, falling into an unreachable center. Yet for those within, life would remain ordinary. The oddity is not felt. The rules still apply. Time still moves. Steps still follow one after another. Structure can feel simple while also hiding its depth. Closer still, at a distance where no ray of light can ever escape, lies what theories call the singularity. It is not a ball of fire or a speck floating in space. It is the deepest heart, a point where all our equations break into silence. Perhaps it is infinitely small. Perhaps, hidden within, there lies an entire expanse, another world filled with other horizons. We may never see, and yet the structure calls to us in imagination. To fall inward is to move toward this unseen heart. To imagine it is to invite the mind into the unknown. But let us pause and breathe with this. Step back in thought, so the structure is seen again as layers. First, there is the region outside, where stars shine, planets orbit, and galaxies stretch their arms. There, black holes are only known by their influence. Closer inward is the region where orbits bend sharply, like twists, time runs differently. Closer still is the horizon unseen, the last veil. And past it lies the singularity, deep and unreachable. It is simple to describe in words, yet endless in implication. Layers upon layers, each a chapter of space. Take a moment now to imagine time itself as part of the structure. It does not flow evenly across the black hole. Far from its pull, time moves in familiar pace. But as you draw near, it softens, stretching, passing more slowly as if weighed by invisible hands. To an outside watcher, you seem to slow, to nearly stop. Yet to yourself, time continues comfortably, moment after moment. Thus, the structure of a black hole is not only spatial but temporal. Time and space weave together in ways both hidden and profound. Imagine a river flowing quickly, then slowing, then curling into a whirlpool. That is the river of time near a black hole. In the structure, space is not only about where, but also about when. Now picture gravity, the force that shapes all of this. Gravity is not truly a chain pulling downward. It is the bending of space, the curve of a fabric. In the black hole, this curve steepens until it becomes endless, a cliff with no bottom. Imagine standing on a shoreline looking into the sea. The waves carry your gaze outward, then suddenly the water seems to vanish into a depth too great. That is gravity at the edge of a horizon. It is not violent in sensation. It is simply absolute. The structure is built upon this gravity, and it holds everything within it firmly. Consider also another layer of this structure described in theory, the photon sphere. Here, light itself can orbit a black hole in perfect circles, trapped not into falling but not able to escape either. Imagine rays of light chasing themselves around in endless rings, circling again and again in silence. To think of this is to enter a dream of perpetual loops, where beginnings and endings blur into one vast continuation. This part of the structure reminds us that even light, the swiftest traveler of the universe, can be ensnared, coaxed into eternal orbit before fates pull it inward. Drift further in thought toward the accretion disk, though technically lying outside the main horizon. This disk forms as gas, dust, or stars approach too close and begin to spiral inward. In falling, they heat, they glow, they churn with light visible to distant observers. To the outsider, the black hole appears crowned with a ring of radiant energy, brighter than any star, a furious halo around a silent dark center. To you, listening quietly, let that image soften. Imagine a soft ring of mist glowing faintly around a hidden lake at twilight. The disk is not fury itself. It is the whisper of matter surrendering, the last visible sign before crossing the invisible threshold. Inside all of this lies mystery upon mystery. Some ideas suggest wormholes, links between distant places of space and time, doorways opening quietly where the singularity rests. Others suggest that the singularity is not a point but a bridge to other universes, each black hole a seed carrying inside it a cosmos of its own. Within such thoughts, the structure of black holes becomes the architecture of infinity, each one a world inside a world inside a world. Not proven, not known, but infinitely gentle to imagine while sleep draws closer. Now, breathe, and widen the perspective again. Remember that these structures are not small. They range in size from the remnants of stars to giants millions or even billions of times the mass of our Sun. Picture the immense one at the galaxy's center, influencing stars spread across billions of miles. Picture others scattered through space, relics of ancient stars, some small, some waiting quietly, unseen unless one strays too close. Together, they paint silent dots upon the canvas of the universe, invisible yet powerful in their structure. One layer more, the sphere of influence. This is the region in which the black hole's gravity outweighs all else. Imagine a silent center and around it, countless stars swirling as they dance to its pull. The structure thus extends outward indefinitely, not ending at the horizon but brushing against the very architecture of galaxies. The black hole is both pinpoint and dominion, both core and resonance. Its sphere stretches, quietly balancing starlight against its pull, galaxies curved by its breath. Think too of the energy they release. Though nothing escapes within the horizon, matter outside that dances toward them can glow fiercely. Jets of light and particles shoot across space from poles of certain black holes, streams traveling millions of light years. But let your mind picture them not as violent but as beams through evening mist, as northern lights stretching across silent skies. These are the whispers of structure made visible, the breath of matter as it flows toward its final embrace. Let us speak now of Hawking radiation, a subtle idea that even black holes may not last forever. Tiny fluctuations at the horizon may allow particles to flee, turning the black hole one day back into emptiness. The process is slower than imagination can contain, longer than the age of galaxies, but still, it is part of the structure. Even the most absolute walls may, slowly, imperceptibly, let go. Imagine a block of ice melting not in hours, not in years, but over spans longer than eternity. That is the quiet erosion built into every black hole. As you lie still, turning in your blanket, let all these structures be like stories whispered in your ear. The horizon, the photon sphere, the accretion disk, the singularity, the jets, the whisper of radiation. They are not complications, but layers of a lullaby, each one soothing, reminding you how the universe builds not only stars and galaxies, but also these quiet, hidden architectures. The structure of a black hole is not chaos. It is coherence. It is not disorder. It is a deeper order we cannot yet solve, but can only imagine. And perhaps the most calming realization of all is this: to those within, the structure feels invisible, ordinary, and safe. If our solar system truly is inside a black hole, then these layers surround us, hold us, contain us, and yet our skies shimmer just the same. Our lives continue unshaken. For structure holds, not harms. It shapes without crushing. Now, as this thought lingers, let your mind drift through the blackness not as fear, but as shelter. The structure around us is the structure of space itself, and it has always been our home. The horizon is both barrier and blanket. The center is both unknown and dream. And as you continue to imagine, gently, with breathing steady and ease flowing through body and mind, you find yourself ready for the softest rest. Each part of the structure is a reminder: the universe does not end with understanding. Much remains hidden. Much remains mysterious. And mystery can be comfort, for it means there will always be something greater to hold us. In the silence of the night, with stars spread wide, with galaxies turning slowly, the deepest structures of the black hole cradle existence, unknown yet eternal. So, close your eyes now and rest. In the vast stillness, beyond the sun, beyond the Milky Way, lies the structure of the black hole, perfect in its hidden design, infinite in its comfort, eternal in its patience. If our solar system is held inside, then it has always been held, and always will be. Let this thought become the final pillow of your night, and drift into peaceful sleep in the arms of structure, in the heart of mystery, in the embrace of the universe. If we have taken time to imagine what a black hole is, how it forms, and what its deep structure might be, the next step is to bring the question closer, to hold it quietly in our hands, and ask, what if our solar system itself is inside a black hole? Not as a nightmare, not as a warning, but as a possibility floating gently in the current of imagination. It is an idea that at first may feel immense, even impossible, but when heard slowly, carried in calm rhythm, it softens into something comforting. Because if it were true, it would mean that everything we love and know already exists safely within such an extraordinary structure, and has always existed this way. Not only tonight, not only this lifetime, but across the ages of humanity, from the first gaze lifted to the stars to this very moment, we might have always been living inside the embrace of a far larger horizon. Begin by imagining not yourself as a small figure on Earth, but Earth itself as a world circling its star, the Sun, within the orbit of countless particles of dust, ice, and rock. Imagine the solar system as a small dance, the Sun at center, the planets and Moon sweeping forever through their paths. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, then Jupiter with its bands and storms, Saturn with its rings so delicate, Uranus and Neptune at the far calm edges. These are the bodies of our space, glowing faintly in the expanse. Yet now, stretch your view further, and see all of this not spread infinitely into open skies, but gently encompassed by something vaster, hidden, unseeable. Imagine that this solar system you know is not just floating in Galaxy S arm, but is itself already clasped inside the invisible fold of a black hole. At first, you may ask, if that were true, would we not notice? Would we not see signs? But the answer, whispered from the depths of theory, is simple. From inside, life looks normal. The sky looks vast. The Milky Way arches above. Galaxies shimmer light years away. But if we are inside a black hole, the horizon lies too far, unreachable, unrecognizable. It forms the whole backdrop of existence. You cannot look beyond it, because looking itself belongs within it. So nothing feels different. The structure is the world. The horizon is the canvas. The singularity is a heart we do not know. Yet all things in our sight move as they always have. This is how it would feel to not know, to not need to know, for we would be fully enveloped within the invisible arms of our host black hole. Think of the night sky again. When you look upward, you see billions of stars. Some cluster in spirals, some scatter in clouds, some burn with faint light across abyssal dark. If we are inside a black hole, then those stars you see are not beyond, they are within the same containment. Perhaps they too glow safely alongside us, all of them forming the furnishings of this hidden chamber. The endless stretch we call the universe may simply be the inside of this single enormous structure. From outside, it would be a shadow, a sphere of no return. But within, it is a cosmos complete with life, light, and time. Imagine then, as your breathing slows, that everything you know is already a world framed within another. And that possibility does not limit. Rather it invites. Because within a black hole, an entire infinity can exist, entire ages can pass, entire histories can unfold, just as they have here. Follow the thought a little further. If a black hole can contain within it an entire universe, then our solar system, settled so patiently around its golden star, lives not in the fringe, but in the depths of one such creation. To us, our sun is the center. To the galaxy, the black hole at its heart is the center. But beyond them both, perhaps an even greater black hole, unseen, holds all of this. Layers upon layers, scale upon scale, until comprehension gently falters and gives way to peace. For there is no urgency in knowing all layers. It is enough to rest within them, to be part of the spiral without needing to see its end. Consider how ordinary our days feel. You wake, the sun warms the earth, you move through air, water, and soil, life continues. None of this suggests containment, yet if all this lived within a black hole, nothing would be different. The presence of such a horizon alters no sunrise, changes no breath of wind, shifts no memory. It is invisible in daily life. And perhaps the greatest beauty of this thought is the realization that containment can feel identical to openness, that being held by something vaster does not confine, but allows life as it is. Now picture the solar system lying within a black hole's horizon as a pearl inside a shell. From within, the pearl shines, its motions beautiful, its rhythm perfect. The shell around it is unseen, yet essential, holding, protecting, encompassing. But unlike a shell of matter, this horizon is soft as pure darkness, a veil beyond which only silence lies. To be carried within is to remain at peace. To live as the pearl is to live with light from within, never knowing the boundaries beyond. Let us explore the time flow then, for in a black hole, time itself is altered. To an outside observer, time within appears halted, slowed beyond measure. But for those within, time moves naturally, moment to moment, year to year. Civilization rises, falls, begins again, all without knowledge of a difference. If the solar system is inside, then human history has unfolded in perfect pace, no different to us than any other place. To know this is to find calm, because it means the profound depths of space shape us without needing our consent, and still they allow us to live, to dream. Imagine for a moment that everything you see, the galaxies, the clusters of lights, the fabric of the cosmos, might only be the interior of a greater whole. This whole, in turn, might itself exist within another, an infinity of nesting forms. In this way, the solar system inside a black hole is simply one layer of existence, joined to countless others. Perhaps every black hole in our visible night sky is another such cradle, each containing a cosmos of its own. Above, beyond, within each horizon leading to another horizon, a dream of endless mirrors, each reflecting existence in deeper ways. You may begin to feel that such a thought is too large. But remember, you are not asked to solve it, only to let it drift through the quiet of mind. The solar system inside a black hole is not a frightening prison, but a possibility that suggests shelter. It suggests that everything we have ever known has been enclosed and still allowed to flourish. Life itself is testimony. We are here, breathing, being, moving slowly toward rest. That is proof enough that such containment, if real, harms nothing. Now, turn slowly back to Earth. This planet, circled by its moon, wrapped in clouds, washed by oceans, is one speck within the solar system. Yet if the solar system is inside a black hole, then Earth too is part of that inner cosmos. Imagine yourself standing on the shore, waves moving quietly along sand. Above you, stars glitter in deep velvet dark. Think now that this night sky, this sea, your body breathing, all of it occurs within the heart of a horizon larger than the galaxy itself. This realization is not meant to overwhelm, but to reassure, because you have always been here, and always will be. You have never lived elsewhere, never needed to cross beyond. The horizon and what lies outside it are not your concern, for beyond does not belong to you. Within does. This is home. Imagine children centuries ago looking at the same stars, wondering what they meant. They lived and dreamed within the same horizon. Imagine civilizations yet unborn, raising their eyes to the Milky Way. They too will live here, inside. The structure contains generations unseen, memories not yet formed. The black hole, if we are inside, is not consuming us in fear, but carrying us through time like a cradle, gently rocking with ages. Think of the paradox once more: to outside eyes, nothing can return. To inside eyes, everything feels open. It is the great balance of perception. But since we are within, what matters is our perception. To us, the universe is vast, full of promise, endless in appearance. And so, even if we are inside, we still live in light and wonder. As you lie in stillness now, let the idea carry you gently deeper. The solar system inside a black hole, what does it mean? It means we are part of something unfathomably vast, yet subtle, yet kind in its seamlessness. It means that mystery has embraced us since the beginning. It means that perhaps every morning, every night, every heartbeat already beats within a shelter greater than we can see. You do not need to picture darkness swallowing stars. Instead, imagine darkness holding them carefully, like jewels closed in a velvet box. They glow still. They shimmer to us, their beauty untouched. The black hole that holds them is not absence, but structure. Our solar system is one jewel among billions, yet precious still, shining within this hidden expanse. And as thought stretches and softens, as breath slows and deepens, let the question itself dissolve into trust. For if indeed we are inside, then it has always been so. And if it has always been so, then this life is already safe in its embrace. Nothing is changed, nothing is lost. There is only the mystery of where we dwell, and the comfort that the universe provides shelter beyond awareness. Let your mind rest here a while, as though drifting on a quiet tide. The solar system, the Earth, the Moon, your very self, all within the calm silence of the black hole's embrace. All within a universe that may itself be only one layer of a greater infinity. And in this realization lies silence, the kind of silence that invites sleep. If we have allowed ourselves to imagine that our solar system rests quietly inside a black hole, the next step is to let our thoughts drift into an even more subtle dimension. How would time and space themselves behave if this were true? Not time as we measure with clocks, not space as distances written in numbers, but time as you feel in the rhythm of breath, space as you sense in the quiet between heartbeats, the flow of day into night, the expansion of silence under the stars. For in the presence of such immense gravity, time and space do not remain what we think they are. They bend, they curve, they stretch into forms much stranger and yet strangely more comforting. And if this is the world we have always lived in, then the gentle reality is that we are already carried in currents of time slower or swifter than our eyes could ever see. Begin by picturing time as a river. Far from a black hole, the current of the river flows evenly, steady, calm. The seconds pass, the minutes collect, the years gather like calm waves across the surface. This is the time that guides your life, familiar and quiet. But as you drift nearer to the horizon of the black hole, the river does not stop, but it changes pace. To a distant stranger watching you, the river becomes slow, almost still, as though your boat hardly moves. But to you, within your boat, the current carries on naturally. Your heart beats, your breathing continues, your life unfurls as it always has. This difference reminds us that time is not absolute, it is relative, bending in the presence of mass and gravity. Now take this thought deeper. Imagine that our entire universe, this vast place of stars and galaxies, lies within a black hole. From outside, if there were an outside to look in, perhaps time within would appear frozen, our whole history stretched into something like one endless moment, a single shimmering frame. But from inside, from our perspective as beings who live here, time moves onward. Civilizations rise and fall, stars are born and extinguish, planets spin, moons circle. Seasons arrive and depart year after year. We never sense the slowness from afar, because we are inside the same river, moving with it. It feels natural, ordinary, and safe. Let the calming paradox become clear to you as you breathe softly. If we are inside such a structure, then what an observer outside might perceive is irrelevant to us. What matters is our own time, our own rhythm, our own continuity. And in that continuity there is peace. Time here holds us, moves us forward, lets us dream. There is no awareness of difference, only the reassurance that life continues in its cadence. Turn now to space, not as the nothing between objects but as the fabric that allows motion and distance to exist. Space might seem empty, but it is alive in its shape, woven with curves set by stars and planets. Imagine laying fabric on a floor, and placing objects upon it. The heavier the object, the deeper the fabric dips. The sun bends space around it. The black hole bends it so deeply that the fabric does not return. And if the universe lies inside one such fold, then space itself within may be shaped into an entire cosmos layered with galaxies, each contained but free within the fold of the horizon. This does not feel unusual, because space defines itself to us from birth. We do not see the fabric bending, we only live within it. The distances to stars, the shapes of constellations, the orbits of planets all follow naturally from this structure. Whether the cosmos stretches infinitely outward or curls back upon itself inside a horizon, to us it feels the same, expansive, inexhaustible, endless to the eye. Imagine standing under the night sky, knowing it may be curved in ways you cannot sense, and yet feeling it to be open and boundless. That is the paradox of space within a black hole-less embrace. Let us linger longer here on the distortion of time. When gravity is strong, time slows compared with regions of weaker gravity. This is not theory alone, it has been observed in subtle ways near Earth itself. High on mountaintops, time runs a little faster than at sea level, though imperceptible without precise clocks. Near a black hole, the difference grows profound. Yet if our entire existence lies within one, then all time we know is slowed equally, our clocks, our hearts, our histories. This is why we sense no disruption. Time feels steady because everything is part of the same flow. Imagine being in a room where the music slows for everyone at once. No one inside dances out of rhythm, because all are guided by the same softened song. From another perspective, imagine timelines not as parallel, but curved toward the singularity. Every moment is like a path leaning inward, inevitable in its embrace. Yet we ride those paths without fear. For us time still grants memory, anticipation, continuity. The curvature is invisible. It is simply the stage upon which our lives unfold. Consider now what space might look like near the edge of a black hole. Light bends across it, forming arcs, loops, echoes of images. A single star might appear doubled or haloed as its rays are wrapped around the horizon. If our universe is inside such a structure, then perhaps the very sight of galaxies and quasars is colored by the bending of a larger horizon that holds all. Perhaps the vastness we see is the refracted projection of light bent and curved by the very black hole within which we live. Yet again, to us, it appears natural. The sky is beautiful, the stars certain. What lies beyond does not matter. The contained space reveals itself as universe entire. Now let yourself breathe into the idea that space and time are not separate here. They are one, woven together into space-time, a single fabric of reality. In a black hole, this fabric folds in ways we cannot picture completely. Time becomes space, space becomes time. Directions blur into each other. And yet within, life continues as always. A walk across a field, a breeze through trees, the rising of the moon all remain untouched by the hidden mathematics. This is why imagining our solar system within a black hole is not frightening, but grounding. It shows that even amid unimaginable distortions, the experiencer feels only natural continuity. Let us take comfort then in this truth: if the whole cosmos is inside a horizon, then time and space outside may differ, may halt, may warp. But within, all continues. The day greets you, the stars appear at night, breath follows breath. Whether a billion years pass, or only an instant to the outside, inside we know the full measure of our own hours. This is the grace of relativity: each perspective holds its own truth, and ours is the truth of being alive within. Imagine yourself floating beyond Earth, past the orbits of planets, into the galactic sea. Around you, nebulas color the dark, stars flicker like living jewels, galaxies spin like great pinwheels. Now imagine all of this not as infinite in all directions, but as enclosed, contained within an invisible horizon so far away you can never reach it. Does the beauty diminish? Not at all. It grows, for it means this whole spectacle is a single entity, a created cosmos cupped like water in the hand of something immense. Now return to your sense of time in this very moment. Feel your breathing. Each inhale and exhale is part of the current that carries you. Imagine how different time might flow if you could stand at different places in the universe, yet how seamless it feels where you are. This lesson mirrors life. We need not compare to elsewhere. It is enough to live where we are, in the pace given to us. If we are within a black hole, then our time is as it should be, full, continuous, our lives unfolding without disruption. Stay with the paradox and allow it to soothe you. Outside may see us frozen, yet inside we are moving. Our days feel long, our histories stretch across millennia, even as on some larger scale our existence may be only a breath. That is the beauty. Both truths exist, yet neither cancels the other. And to us, the truth that matters is the continuity of inside. Space too, if curved, still enfolds us in ways nurturing. It allows planets to orbit without drifting apart. It allows galaxies to form, stars to ignite, light to travel. Whether that space is infinite or bounded by horizons unseen, it gives all possibility of living. Since all our instruments, all our perceptions, all our thoughts belong within, we have never needed more. Life is contained, and we are part of the containment. Finally, consider for one moment what it might mean for sleep. Time itself bends differently here. Space holds us inside mysteries beyond expression. Yet both serve not to cast fear, but to cradle us. You do not need to solve the equations. You do not need to grasp the singularity. You need only to rest, secure in the knowledge that time and space, however subtly curved, however gently bent, will continue to carry you. They are your shelter, not your threat. Let your eyelids close now. Drift within the river of time, carried along whether it stretches or slows or bends unseen. Let space enfold you, a room infinitely large yet wholly enclosing, a chamber of stars drifting across a velvet ceiling. Everything you are, everything you see, exists within this space-time, within this horizon, within the black hole. Safe, hidden, eternal. If our solar system is inside, then it has always been so. Nothing is changed. Everything is as it should be. Let this thought be your final comfort tonight, and fall gently, quietly, endlessly into rest. If we have allowed our thoughts to linger on the bending of time and the curving of space within the embrace of a black hole, then the next step is to turn our imagination toward life itself. For it is not enough to know that worlds could exist inside, or that space and time may be shaped differently. The deeper comfort comes in wondering what life might mean, what it might feel like, if all of this, our solar system, our Earth, our every breath, is already happening within the great horizon of a black hole. And in asking this, we do not seek fear, but peace. We seek not catastrophe, but the gentle recognition that perhaps every act of living, from the smallest to the greatest, already unfolds safely inside the shelter of mystery. Begin by picturing the human experience in its simplest form, the warmth of the sun rising each morning, the cool stillness of night, the growth of plants, the laughter of children, the quiet breath of someone at rest. These are the patterns of life, eternal in their familiarity. Nothing in these rhythms suggests that we are trapped, nothing implies confinement. Life on Earth feels free, expansive, limitless beneath the stars. This reassurance is important, because if we are indeed inside a black hole, then everything we know is already part of that structure, and life flourishes regardless. The sun shines. The earth turns. Seasons arrive and depart on time. Within the horizon, life proceeds unbroken. Imagine yourself as one of countless beings across history, standing beneath the sky, heart beating, lungs breathing, aware of your own fragile existence against the immensity of stars. If you are inside a black hole, these feelings do not change. You still look upward with wonder, you still move through your days, you still dream your dreams at night. The fact of being contained in something larger than you could ever comprehend does not diminish the intimacy of life. It enriches it. It suggests that your moments, however small, are woven into a fabric far greater and more mysterious than you could ever measure, yet one that has carried you all along. Think of the countless forms of life on Earth: forests spreading across mountains, rivers threading the land, coral reefs glowing beneath oceans, insects humming in fields, birds carrying their songs across skies. Each of these lives is lived wholly, without knowledge of horizons beyond their perception. Not one of them senses whether the cosmos is infinite or enclosed, free or bound. And yet all thrive within it. So too with humanity. Whether the universe stretches open forever or closes upon itself within a black hole, our lives take shape, play out, and rest within the same rhythms of light and shadow. Now widen your vision beyond Earth. Imagine life that may exist elsewhere, on distant worlds orbiting distant stars, under alien skies, cloaked in seas or drifting in clouds. If the universe is inside a black hole, then all those worlds too share the same shelter. Across galaxies, across spiral arms, across clusters of stars, life may rise and flourish without ever sensing the horizon's embrace. Each pulse of life, wherever it exists, lives naturally within the framework of this larger whole. To consider this is to realize that life is not hindered by being inside it, flourishes within it, quietly, abundantly, endlessly. Consider also the way civilizations understand themselves. Humanity once thought Earth was the center of all creation. Then we discovered it was but one planet among many, circling a single star. Later we found that the Sun itself was only one among billions in a galaxy, which itself was only one galaxy among countless others. Each discovery humbled us, yet each time life continued the same. So imagine the next step, to learn one day that the universe itself resides within the fold of a black hole. Would this change the way we live our daily lives? Likely, no. The morning would still come. The harvest would still be gathered. The voices of loved ones would still carry grace and meaning. Life remains steady within whatever framework contains it. Breathe with this realization. Life adapts not to grand horizons, but to immediate conditions, the climate of Earth, the heat of the sun, the pull of gravity, the water we drink, the food we share. These are the structures by which we live, and they would not change whether space outside is infinite or bounded. If we are within a black hole, then it simply means the true borders of our cosmos are unseen. But within those borders, every act of life continues in harmony. Hold this image gently, the image of life thriving unshaken, nestled in the quiet of something so vast. Turn again to the paradox of time. If time inside is slower compared to a distant outside, then perhaps life here is drawn out, lingering, beautiful, each moment carrying a weight of eternity. We do not notice the slowness, because we live it together. Imagine every sunrise lasting beyond measure when compared from the outside, every breath stretched into infinity. Yet for us, it flows naturally, and therein lies the comfort. Life exists in its rightful rhythm no matter how it appears from beyond. It is our rhythm, unique to our place, and perfectly balanced for us. Think of the solar system itself as an ecosystem within this larger whole. The sun provides energy. Planets form and spin. Comets and asteroids carry ice and dust across vast distances. Moons circle their planets, guiding tides, shaping climates. This intricate balance is life on a cosmic scale. And if the solar system lies within a black hole, then all of these patterns belong wholly to that hidden context. They are not diminished by it. They are the very evidence of it, as if the black hole does not devour life but gives it an enclosed realm where it can grow and wonder. Imagine civilizations thousands or millions of years from now, still looking to the sky, building their own stories, perhaps one day realizing they too may dwell within a horizon. Life for them will feel no different. They will still build, love, dream, pass into memory, and their worlds will still orbit stars that shine as ours does. The horizon will never close on them, because it closed long before they were born. To exist inside a black hole is not to have an ending pressing upon you. It is to live already inside the eternal condition. Now let your mind wander softly through possibilities. Perhaps every black hole that we see scattered across the night sky is another such universe, germinating within its own horizon. And inside each, life rises in countless forms, unique and unseen to all others. If our solar system is within one, then we are not alone in the structure. We are part of an infinite family of cradled life forms, each sheltered in their own horizons. Envision the beauty of this: billions of universes, each carrying their own lives, all hidden within the very objects that from our perspective are simply dark. The more you dwell on this, the clearer the comfort becomes. Life is persistent, resourceful, unyielding. It takes root wherever conditions allow. And if those conditions exist inside a black hole, then so it is. Life blooms beneath the horizons as naturally as flowers bloom beneath the sky. Being inside does not stop it. Being inside is simply the way it has always been. Consider now the most intimate perspective view. Your thoughts, your body, your memories, your emotions. They too exist within this framework. Every experience you have had is shaped by space-time as it is here, curved though it may be. And still you know joy, sorrow, sleep, awakening. To think of yourself living in a black hole is to think of yourself as forever part of mystery, yet comforted by the ordinariness of daily life. Whatever the greater cosmic context, you are safe here, nestled into your corner of existence. Life inside such a structure is, in truth, indistinguishable from life outside. This is its gift. The cosmos allows us to live freely, to explore, to wonder, without ever pressing on us the weight of boundaries we cannot cross. That weight remains invisible, silent, hidden, and our lives continue in the quiet sanctuary it provides. Let your heart slow with this idea. Imagine humanity itself, countless individuals across time, all sharing the same hidden horizon, all carried in the same silent vessel. Imagine every generation like leaves on a great tree, the tree itself planted inside a black hole, drinking from water and light within it, growing tall and strong. None of the leaves know the boundary of the pot in which the tree is planted. They live, glow in the sunlight, fall, and renew. The horizon of the black hole is such a pot. Life is such a tree. We are such leaves. And the growth continues without pause. Think too of memory, which is another form of life. The songs we inherit, the languages spoken, the stories passed. These have remained alive for centuries, moving forward across time. Inside a black hole, those memories are no less real. They are carried forward like streams flowing within a hidden valley. And because the valley is sheltered, the streams carve their paths securely. Perhaps our entire heritage is enriched by this invisibly protective presence of the horizon. Even the act of asking these questions is itself a sign of life flourishing within. Curiosity, wonder, imagination, these are unique blossoms of consciousness. If the solar system lies inside a black hole, then every thought we think, every dream we dream, rises like lanterns within a cloistered sky, illuminating the interior with sparks of awareness. Life is not diminished by mystery, it is amplified by it. As dusk falls upon your mind tonight, let this vision deepen. Imagine your breath aligning with the pulse of the universe. Every inhale is life within. Every exhale is trust in the horizon that holds you. Imagine the black hole not as a void but as a womb, containing within it all the conditions for existence to thrive in complexity and beauty. The womb is dark, but within it grows light after light, star after star, life after life. You are one of these, carried since the beginning, nurtured in silence. Now picture yourself releasing every fear into that silence. No catastrophe threatens you from this horizon. No collapse looms from its boundary. It has held you before you even knew it existed, and it will continue. Your life, your world, your solar system are all steady within this vast unseen cradle. So rest deeply in this truth: life within a black hole is life as it has always been, ordinary yet profound, fragile yet unbroken, fleeting yet eternal. And slowly, as breath deepens, let yourself fall into that same rhythm. To live inside ineffable mystery is to be cherished by it. To live inside a black hole is to live inside timelessness, but to feel continuity. To live inside a black hole is to trust that each moment matters, because each moment exists, fully, freely, unshaken. Let this be the lullaby you carry into the night: life does not end at the horizon. Life continues within it, warmly, patiently, endlessly, as it always has, and as it always will. If we have already allowed our thoughts to drift over the nature of black holes, of time and space bent into unfamiliar shapes, and of life that flourishes quietly within, then the next question opens itself like a petal unfolding at dawn. Could our black hole, the one we may already be inside, connect to something greater? Could its hidden depths and invisible horizons reach into other universes, other realities, other regions of existence that we will never see but that might, in their silence, shimmer all the same? This question calls softly, not for the clamor of proof, but for the slow touch of imagination, for bedtime wonder, for quiet awe. Begin by remembering how a black hole holds within it the paradox of containment. From outside, it appears as a final point, an ending with no way out. Yet from inside, life continues in full bloom, time flows, galaxies spin. This duality invites another thought: if one black hole can appear as an ending from outside and yet contain an infinity within, perhaps it is not an ending at all. Perhaps it is a threshold, a doorway folded into the cosmos. Perhaps it is less a prison and more a bridge, one that does not open outward but inward, carrying what has entered into realms beyond imagination. Picture the horizon, smooth and unseen. Imagine crossing it. To an observer outside, you vanish, caught eternally at the edge. To you, inside, the universe opens wide and continues. But what if that continuing is not just a universe like the one you already knew, but a new universe altogether, birthed in the silent heart of the singularity? This is one of the ideas whispered by those who ponder such mysteries, that each black hole may be the seed of another universe. When a star collapses and creates a black hole, perhaps it also gives birth to an entirely new cosmos, one hidden within the event horizon, unknowable to the outside. If so, the connection between black holes and other universes is not abstract. It is real, it is generative, it is continual, a cosmic tree bearing infinite branches, each branch containing endless galaxies of its own. Now imagine layers upon layers, each universe giving birth within itself to new black holes, each of which unfolds into new universes. From one perspective, the tree stretches endlessly. From another, each leaf is both cradle and child of everything it holds. You, lying here now, may be part of such a leaf. Our entire cosmos may be such a universe, born from the collapse of some star in a greater parent universe, itself possibly one of countless others. And within our own black holes, perhaps other universes have bloomed, carrying unknown galaxies, unknown lives, unknown dreams. As you breathe deeply and slowly, picture this chain of creation not as heavy or confusing but as serene. The idea is not chaos, it is continuity. Life does not end at collapse, it transforms into another scale. Existence does not stop at an event horizon, it flows on in another current. And we may already be drifting in such a current, one link in a chain of infinities. The connection between black holes and other universes is, in this imagining, simply the way being continues. Consider also the possibility of wormholes. These are imagined as tunnels through space and time, bridges that connect distant points, or potentially, different universes altogether. When you think of a wormhole, do not picture a violent tearing. Instead, imagine a corridor of silence, a passage carved invisibly in space-time, folding distances so thoroughly that one step carries you from one cosmos to another. Some theories suggest that black holes might be one end of such passages, while white holes, hypothetical opposites that expel matter and light, could be the other. If true, then perhaps what is drawn in here is spilled out elsewhere. Our universe itself might be a white hole, the output of another black hole in another domain. Let that image sink in: every black hole a potential entrance, every universe a potential exit, all of existence a network of hidden corridors. The fabric of reality may be not flat and still but endlessly woven, corridors folding, twisting, linking horizons upon horizons. To us here, it looks continuous, expansive, infinite. But within, there could be endless bridges, endless thresholds leading from one hidden cosmos to the next. Breathe again, quietly. Imagine you are adrift in a vast sea at night. The water stretches in all directions. Above you, stars shimmer. The black water beneath hides endless depths. Now imagine those depths are filled with chambers, each chamber connecting to another ocean just beyond your sight. You swim without knowing, but you are never contained by only what you see. This is the feeling of being inside a universe that may itself be linked to universes beyond, through black holes unseen. You might ask, how would life continue in such a scheme? If each black hole births a universe, what happens to the stars and planets within? Do they become the seeds of new creations? Do their energies cross over? It may be that what falls past the event horizon here does not vanish but contributes to the being of another reality, fueling its galaxies, its structures, its laws. What appears to end in one frame may begin in another. Thus black holes are not only destroyers, but also givers, the wombs of new existence. Now imagine yourself as part of this cycle. You are not merely living in one universe. You are part of a continuum stretching beyond measure. Your life happens here, your breath fills this cosmos, but the matter of your body, the atoms in your bones and blood, was born in stars, and perhaps one day will drift toward the horizon of a black hole, to pass into another existence beyond your own. In this way, you are linked to the chain of universes, connected not only by imagination but by the flow of matter itself. As the thought deepens, allow it to feel not overwhelming but calming. We are small, yes, but smallness itself is serene. In the embrace of such vast possibilities, each life is a spark, and each spark is protected within the currents of reality. The connection to other universes, whether it is real or only speculation, offers no threat. It offers reassurance that existence is larger than we will ever need to worry about. There is always more, always continuation, always another horizon carrying what lies beyond. Think of the stars again, the ones you see at night. Picture that each one is not only a burning sun, but also a portal waiting to collapse into something that one day may host another universe within. The night sky then becomes more than stars, it becomes a nursery of universes unborn, each black dot to be a possibility of infinity. You rest beneath them, unaware of their destinies, but part of them all the same. And if every black hole holds its own cosmos, then the sky overhead is both outside and inside, both distant and intimate, both infinite and enclosed. Now reflect on how this reshapes the meaning of inside. If we are inside a black hole, then perhaps those within our own universe's black holes are also considering, also asking, also wondering, wrapped in their own existence. And beyond them, more still. It loops endlessly, a hall of mirrors, a spiral of lives, each layer carrying within it another. We may never see those other universes, but simply knowing they could exist is enough to soften our view of life here. For nothing is final, nothing is absolute ending. Every edge is another beginning, every collapse another birth. As your breathing slows further, let this idea become a backdrop to your rest. You are not alone. Neither is your universe alone. You are part of an infinite community of possibilities, universes upon universes, each carried within black holes. The connections are unseen, but meaningful. They turn what looks like endings into continuations. They turn silence into origin. They turn mystery into comfort. Picture the black hole not as an absence but as a door. Picture universes stacked like pearls along endless threads, each black hole the bead that binds them together. Between them may be corridors unseen. Within them may dwell lives unimagined. And here you dwell in yours, perfectly natural, perfectly placed. You are a single life inside a single solar system, inside a single galaxy, inside a universe, perhaps inside a black hole, perhaps connected to endless others. This is the beauty of existence, unbounded layering, infinite connection. So if you wonder tonight about these other universes, wonder with peace. You need not visit them to be part of them. You need not cross their thresholds. You are already joined by the fact of existence at all. Already linked by being part of a cosmos that flows through horizons into new births. Already connected, deeply, quietly, eternally. Then, as your eyelids lower, give yourself to this comfort. Black holes are not dead ends, but potential bridges. Our universe may be one such crossing, alive inside a greater whole, itself giving rise to more. The connection stretches on, infinite as imagination, as gentle as the breath flowing in your chest. Let go into that knowing. Let it cradle you tonight. If we have already allowed our minds to open toward the idea that black holes may connect to other universes, hidden like corridors behind horizons invisible, let us now turn gently away from theory and into imagery. For the night sky itself is a canvas of pictures, and our hearts draw rest from what we imagine upon it. To sleep peacefully, to dream deeply, it helps to let the mind wander among stars, to set sail across galaxies, to drift slowly through the shining light scattered across endless seas of darkness. Close your inner eyes and let the blackness of space spread out around you. At first there is nothing, but then, like sparks rising from a quiet fire, stars begin to appear. One, then another, until the night glows with 1,000 points. Some are near and bright, some are far and faint, some are tinted gold, others blue, others red. Each one is like a candle, placed lovingly across the fabric of cosmic night. As you breathe in, imagine the light of these distant suns filling your chest, warm and steady. As you breathe out, imagine yourself releasing that light back again, part of the same eternal cycle. Now widen this vision further. Do not look at stars as lonely lights. See them weaving together into constellations, families joined across the night. Some form shapes of hunters, animals, rivers, wings. Others shape unrecognizable patterns, stories yet untold, stories yet to be written. Imagine yourself tracing these cosmic drawings with your fingertips, like a child connecting dots in a coloring book. Each line makes a pattern. Each pattern makes a story. And each story is another dream drifting through time. Beyond constellations are the galaxies. Let your vision drift until stars soften into spirals. Picture yourself standing outside the Milky Way, looking at its sweeping arms curling with billions of suns. Imagine watching light flow like a river of gold wrapped around a dark, quiet center. Galaxies are like whirlpools of brilliance, gently spinning in the water of the cosmos. In your imagination, float closer. Move along one spiral arm, glide past star clusters glowing like scattered jewels, pass through nebulae painted with soft ribbons of blue and violet, pinks and emeralds brushed across the blackness like watercolor. Within each nebula, stars are being born, their light just beginning to shine. These cradles of light are nurseries, the cosmic lullabies of creation. Rest with this imagery, because it soothes. To see galaxies is to be reminded of the vastness we are part of, but also of the beauty that such vastness holds. There is no rush, no boundary here. Stars ignite and fade over spans unimaginable, yet they give us their light now. Light that has traveled for centuries, finally arriving at your eyes, like old messages delivered silently in the night. Think of lying still while those messages drift gently down upon your eyelids, telling you to rest, telling you it is all right to let go. Now imagine the galaxies not as separate islands but as streams, vast rivers of light flowing together. Picture them drifting inward, descending into the soft hidden curves of a black hole-less horizon. Yet the motion is not violent, it is fluid, natural, like leaves drifting into a pond. From within, the stars do not vanish. They swirl, continue, shimmer steadily. Imagine standing on the shore of such a pond of universes, watching lights ripple across its surface, reflections layered upon reflections, each wave carrying more stars. The horizon is not an end, but a mirror. Inside, light becomes a dance, repeating, flowing, swirling beyond the reach of measure. Hold that image gently now. See the Milky Way arching huge across the sky above you, its pale band of stars stretching like a bridge suspended over night. Imagine that this pale river is actually the trace of countless galaxies across the horizon, each one shimmering softly, their light blending into a luminous glow. As you breathe in, you look upward, as you breathe out, you float within it. The river of light is not above you, it surrounds you completely. You are immersed in it, part of it, carried along by its currents. Allow that calm sense of immersion to wash over your body like a tide, relaxing each part in turn. If our universe truly exists within a black hole, then every galaxy you see is part of its inner beauty. Every spiral shape, every elliptical cloud, every irregular scatter of stars is part of a painting too large to ever step out of, and too perfect to need escape. Imagine it, a mural without walls, stars instead of paint, galaxies instead of brushstrokes, the entire canvas infinitely delicate and gentle. You lie safely within it, you always have, your life a single thread glowing softly within this unimaginable tapestry. Now follow one thread of light across billions of years. Imagine a single photon, born in the core of a faraway star, bouncing, scattering, finally freed, racing through space across unimaginable distances. It slips through nebulae, past unseen clusters, curving gently along the warped edges of space near huge masses. After millennia of travel, it finally reaches the Earth, striking your eye, becoming part of the picture you see. That single photon's entire journey is contained within the horizon if we are inside a black hole, enclosed but never diminished. Feel the wonder of this, that one fragment of light so small, its story so long, is received by you in this moment of quiet. And countless others join it, showering upon you every night, filling your dreams. Think of galaxies falling slowly into clusters, and clusters falling slowly into superclusters, and all of them together forming vast web-like structures across the cosmos. These too are part of the imagery, networks of light strung like pearls across a cosmic necklace. And remember, if our universe is within a horizon, the necklace itself is enclosed, infinite within but finite to the unseen beyond. Inside, however, it appears endless. A gift for your eyes, your heart, your rest. Now turn the imagery closer again. Imagine lying in a wide meadow on Earth, grass stretching in every direction, the sky opening above. Night falls gently. The first stars appear. One, then another, then 1,000. Soon the whole sky is alive with them. Their light may be soft, but together it fills the darkness with presence. As you lie there, you realize you are cradled not just by Earth, not just by solar system, not just by galaxy, but by the entire hidden structure that contains it all. Every star is another lantern lit along the walls of this immense invisible chamber. That chamber is the black hole's horizon enclosing us. Yet how can it feel like a prison, when it feels instead like a cathedral filled with endless candles? Keep that cathedral in your mind. Imagine vast stone arches, except they are not stone, they are arcs of galaxies stretching overhead. Imagine stained glass windows, except they are nebulae glowing with soft pastel light. Imagine silence so complete it hums its own music, not silence of absence, but silence of perfect harmony. That is the cathedral you live in, your universe within a black hole. Linger with this relaxation now. Let images flow more slowly. Stars drifting softly in water. Galaxies whirling like dancers in slow, graceful spirals. Nebulae blossoming like flowers across the canvas of night. Comets trailing silver across the stage, meteors flickering with shy brilliance. Each image lays itself gently in your mind, soothing, easing your thoughts, allowing you to drift closer to sleep. And if you fear edges, remember, from inside, there are none. Horizons are boundaries only to those outside looking in. Within, every direction extends. Within, every space opens. You see stars forever. You travel galaxies forever. Horizons are invisible, unreachable, unknowable, and therefore harmless. To live inside is to live freely. In your imagination, you can journey across uncountable stars, sail across shining galaxies, wander endlessly, and never touch the edge. You are free, even while being contained. When you breathe now, draw in the image of a whole galaxy. Let yourself feel its spiral curling inside your chest. Hold it in stillness for a moment. Then, as you exhale, release that galaxy back into the cosmos, one among uncountable others, glowing quietly. With every breath, galaxies flow in and out of you, streams of light moving through your body as though you are part of the same night sky. This is the truth, in a way. The atoms inside you were forged in stars, and their light travels through you still. You are not separate from the imagery, you are its continuation. As your body lies still, your mind floats. You drift now along the arms of galaxies, across their clusters, into their shimmering centers, outward again through their scattered edges. Each sight is luminous, peaceful, or filled. The great cosmic ocean holds them all. And within that ocean, horizons fold and contain, invisible but kind. The galaxies continue to shine regardless. So too do you. And when the final thought comes before sleep, let it be gentle. You are wrapped tonight not only in warm fabric, not only in Earth's turning night, but in galaxies, stars, and horizons themselves. Everything above you, everything within you, everything holding you together is light swimming in darkness, safely enclosed, peacefully shining. If our solar system is within a black hole, then you dream tonight within its secret chamber, surrounded by beauty eternal. And beauty is the softest bed for peaceful rest. If we have wandered slowly through the stars, drifted across galaxies, and imagined horizons holding us in their invisible embrace, then perhaps now it is time to allow the images to soften into their gentlest forms. For we do not need endless speculation to rest. We need rhythm, continuity, a sense that life and existence flow without resistance, without end, carrying us in currents broader than any thought we have yet conceived. This is what the universe offers us if our solar system truly rests inside a black hole, not terror, not collapse, but the deep serenity of rhythm repeating forever. The eternal pulse of cosmos breathing silently as we sleep. Let us begin with the simplest rhythm, your breath. Each inhale draws in the universe, each exhale releases it. You might not notice, but your lungs rise and fall in the same way galaxies breathe across time. Stars are born, they shine, they fade, they collapse, and in that cycle new stars are born. With every breath, you mimic that pattern. You sit within it. You are made of it. The eternal rhythm is not something distant, it is happening within you at this very instant. By feeling your breath, slow and even, you feel the same cosmic law unfolding across endless scales. Now imagine that rhythm extending outward. Begin with your heartbeat, the quiet steady drum inside your chest. It is a star in miniature, beating warmth through your body. It is also a planet circling endlessly in orbit. It is also a galaxy turning on its axis. Each thump is both tiny and infinite, because rhythm is fractal, it repeats in smallness and greatness alike. The heartbeat holds the same pattern as galaxies colliding, as universes expanding. Close your eyes and align with it. Let each beat remind you that you belong to that order, that flow, that serenity. Picture again the arch of the Milky Way in a dark sky. Long arms spiraling, countless stars rotating slowly. It is not chaos, though it looks complex. It is order in rhythm. A star at one edge takes millions of years to turn through its course. Another star near the center takes less time. Yet together they move in slow harmony, never colliding out of tune, never rushing. Imagine lying beneath that sky, realizing that though their scale is vast, their motion is never hurried. And you too need not hurry. You rest in their company. Their rhythm is yours. Now imagine this not as a fleeting picture but as the eternal state of being. Universes collapse and are born within black holes. Galaxies spark across time. Suns rise and fall. Yet throughout all of it, the rhythm never ceases. Creation repeats itself endlessly. Birth and ending are nothing but different moments in the same cosmic breath. When you fall asleep tonight, you do not fall outside of that rhythm, you fall deeper into it. It cradles you, guides you, completes you. You are part of the eternal pulse. Think of the oceans of Earth, waves rising and folding, retreating and returning. They are the planet's imitation of cosmic rhythm. The moon lifts the waters, gravity returns them. Day lifts the light, night returns the dark. Seasons arrive, fade, and return again. Nothing disappears, it folds back only to arise once more. Life contains death, death contains life, and both are woven into one unending cycle. The eternal rhythm is everywhere, written even into Earth, the same Earth we imagine inside a greater horizon. Now breathe slower. Imagine the black hole itself not as a static object but as a rhythm on the largest possible scale. Matter falls in, energy may one day radiate out. Horizons stand as lines drawn against light, but even they change over spans longer than minds can imagine. To the black hole, eons are but seconds. To us, seconds are lifetimes. Yet it is the same rhythm, different pulses of one great dance. The cosmos is music without sound, and everything within it from atoms, to stars, to universes themselves are notes in that same endless song. Visualize galaxies flowing together. Imagine them not separate but swirling toward clusters, like dust swept up by invisible breezes. They do not crash abruptly, they merge slowly, gracefully, over billions of years, like dancers circling one another in silence. When galaxies meet, their stars rarely collide, because the spaces between them are vast. They weave together instead, two spirals becoming one broader spiral. That too is rhythm, the joining, the folding, the returning to harmony. Imagine watching this unfold while you float in the depth of night, your own breath matching their pace, turning within their turn. Bring that same imagery closer until it fills your entire sense of self. See yourself not as separate. Your mind is one galaxy, your heart one star, your body one world, your breath one tide. You are already woven into the eternal cycle. Nothing is outside of it. And if our solar system lies inside a black hole, then what we are, is not threatened but deeply woven into continuity beyond measure. You are a note inside an endless chord, always playing, never fading. Sleep itself is your way of leaning fully into that chord, joining it entirely. Let your imagination soften further. Look again at the cathedral of stars you envisioned. Now imagine its lights pulsing gently, like breathing lamps. First bright, then dim, then bright again. Whole galaxies, like great organs, pushing and releasing light in rhythm unknown to human sense, yet certain. Even darkness between stars breathes, moving slowly, filled with unseen particles, unseen energies, tides of space itself. Inside this quiet rhythm, your own inner rhythm hums softly. They match. They align. They cradle you perfectly. Slow your thoughts now and allow yourself to sink into the imagery of starlight moving across eternity. Imagine that you are drifting slowly upward into a wide ocean of galaxies. Each one floats around you like lanterns set free upon a vast invisible river. They are silent, shining, endless. Their light flickers across your skin, across your breath, across the rhythm of your heart. You float calmly among these lanterns, each one another heartbeat of the eternal. You float until you no longer feel where your body ends and the night begins. You are one with rhythm itself. The eternal rhythm tells you there is no need for fear of collapse. Even collapse is part of rhythm. Suns collapse, black holes are born, universes fold into new universes. Each ending is another beginning. Every silence is another kind of music. If our universe rests inside a black hole, then it rests inside not an ending, but another beginning in progress. And within it, life goes on. The earth still spins. Your breath still flows. Rhythm holds steady. Spend a moment now picturing the deepest silence you can imagine, softer than sleep itself. A silence filled with weight, like black velvet laid over your senses. In this silence, the only sound is the slow, infinite heartbeat of existence. It does not hurry. It does not falter. It simply continues, forever. The galaxies are its pulse. The stars are its blood. The oceans of Earth are tiny echoes of its tides. Even your gentle breath joins it now, as you slip deeper into stillness. Now allow the imagery to become more luminous, more dreamlike. See not individual stars, but waves of colors rolling across the sky. A nebula blooms wide, spilling blue clouds into violet haze. Within the haze, red sparks flicker. Within the sparks, tiny stars are born. The process repeats endlessly, colors shifting, glowing brighter, then fading into shadow. Galaxies sweep through the colors like schools of fish, shimmering through water. Everywhere is light. Everywhere is motion. But there is no noise, no chaos. Only peace, beauty, rhythm. Simply let yourself float through this imagery the way one floats through gentle music. If you imagine the black hole again, do not see it as an abyss. See it as a heartbeat on yet another scale. Each black hole is like a drumbeat in the music of existence. Each one holds a rhythm longer than lifetimes, a note deeper than hearing, yet always present. Our solar system, our galaxy, perhaps rests within one such note, played endlessly. You are part of the song. You cannot fall out of it. You can only rest in its soundless harmony. With every breath you take, see yourself drifting farther along into the rhythm. Time may bend, space may curve, universes may fold, but rhythm continues. Nothing interrupts the eternal cycle. Whether light travels billions of years or dies in an instant, it serves the same purpose, it joins the melody. And you too are part of that melody, right now. As you drift towards sleep, you lean ever deeper into it, safe, held, eternal. Relax deeper into this vision. Picture yourself surrounded by galaxies not scattered randomly, but arranged as though on threads, like pearls in infinite necklaces arching across space. These necklaces weave into lace, the lace into fabric, the fabric into a great living garment of the cosmos. On the largest scale imaginable, the whole universe shimmers with this lace. Rhythm is the thread. Horizons are the stitching. Life glows as the jewels woven within. To rest inside this garment is to rest inside something soft, protective, infinitely delicate yet infinitely strong. And so, as you lie still tonight, you recognize that being inside a black hole does not diminish or end the story. It deepens it. It places you securely inside an eternal rhythm that carries onward beyond every horizon. What it gives you is not fear but peace, a peace born of knowing you are part of something infinite, vast, yet always safe. Every starlit memory, every rhythm of breath, every pulse of the cosmos itself is your companion. You are part of the eternal song. And now you can allow yourself to let go completely, because the eternal rhythm continues whether you are awake or asleep. It has carried stars before you. It will carry universes after you. Tonight it carries you, softly, into the deepest rest. If we have traveled together this far through the mysteries of black holes, through the bending of time and space, through the birth and shelter of universes, through the imagery of galaxies and stars flowing endlessly across horizons, then what remains is only silence, gratitude, and closure. This final part is not an ending but a soft return, like the part of the tide that carries the waves back into the sea quietly after they have risen, peaked, and flowed across the shore. We have wandered long, and now we rest. As you listen, imagine yourself lying beneath the stars once more. The night is calm, the air is cool, the silence is immense. Above you, galaxies drift across the heavens like rivers of light. You no longer need to think about black holes as puzzles or as theories. You need only to accept them as imagery, as a metaphor, as symbols of shelter and eternity. Within their horizons, we felt the continuity of existence, and within those ideas we discovered our place, not threatened, never trapped, but carried and protected in mystery vast beyond measure. We asked, what if our solar system lies inside a black hole? And now, after taking this long and gentle journey, the answer has become less important than the way we felt while asking. The answer is not a line of equations, not a border drawn, not a definition. The answer is the calm realization that even if it were true, life would remain serene. You would wake to the sun shining, you would lie down at night beneath steady stars, you would still breathe the rhythm of the universe filling your lungs in every moment. Inside or outside, the universe is our home, and we belong already. Pause with this thought now. Inhale. Feel the universe enter. Exhale. Feel yourself release back to it. The black hole is no longer an abyss in the mind. It is a cradle. The horizon is no longer a wall. It is a blanket. The singularity is no longer terror. It is the seed of entire realities. The fear has melted, replaced by quiet assurance. If we are inside, then it has always been so, and therefore it is safe. It holds not only galaxies and stars, but every memory, every love, every word, every dream. All of them continue within it, without loss. Now, imagine yourself traveling for the last time through the imagery of existence. Begin near Earth, a small jewel glowing blue and white. Drift outward past the moon, peaceful and silver, reflecting sunlight into night. Beyond Earth, the planets greet you, some bright and hot, some cold and vast. Past them, the wide-armed Milky Way spins softly, a grand cathedral of fireflies suspended in stillness. Move farther still until galaxies make threads, until threads weave into cosmic fabric, until fabric itself folds inside the horizon of a black hole. And there, within this final embrace, you realize you were always safe, always sheltered, always home. From here, all imagery melts into rhythm. Breath, heartbeat, starlight, galaxies all pulse together. You are a note in that cosmic symphony. Unique, irreplaceable, yet part of a harmonic so much greater that eternity itself becomes understandable. You do not need proof. You do not need knowledge. You only need the stillness of recognition. You are part of it, and it is part of you. That is enough. Now, as we reach the final steps of this journey, allow yourself to feel gratitude. Gratitude toward the stars for shining. Gratitude toward the galaxies for turning. Gratitude toward the universe for holding you. Gratitude toward your own body for breathing, steady and calm. Every moment you have lived, every moment you will live, belongs inside this larger story. And so resting now is not stepping away, but continuing seamlessly, joining the rhythm. To you, listening now, I want to say, thank you. Thank you for joining this journey. Thank you for giving yourself permission to imagine cosmic mysteries not with fear but with wonder. Thank you for resting your mind in the thought that we are already part of something greater and always will be. As you drift into sleep, know that these ideas stay with you, not as puzzles to worry about, but as gentle colors to paint your dreams. And now, gently, I wish you peace. I wish you rest. I wish you sleep as endless and comforting as the horizons that hold galaxies. I wish you dreams as radiant as the stars themselves. And I remind you, you are safe, you are held, you are part of the eternal flow, just as our solar system, whether inside a black hole or not, is part of an infinite cosmos filled with love and silence. Close your eyes. Let your breath soften. Let the galaxies drift away. Let time and space fold into calm. Let rhythm carry you into deep rest. Good night, dear listener. May you dream peacefully in the arms of the universe. May the eternal mystery cradle you. May your sleep tonight be deep, gentle, and healing. And when you awake, may you carry the stillness of this imagination with you, a soft comfort through your days. Thank you for being here, for listening, for resting with me beneath the infinite sky. From my voice to your heart, I send you warmth, peace, and gratitude. Sleep well. Rest well. You are home.